I'm joined now in the studio by our Foreign Affairs Editor, Wasim Nasser. And Wasim, hello, thank you for being with us. How much of a solid grasp on these areas and the territory it's taken over does the group actually have?
We should know that lately, in the last weeks, as they were advancing in Iraq, which had the biggest media coverage, they were advancing in Eastern Syria. And they were in conflict with many factions, and between these factions were Al-Nusra Front, which is the Al-Qaeda branch in Syria, in the eastern regions. And these regions are very rich in oil and in resources. And these resources made the victories, between brackets, in Iraq possible. So, in the last 3 days, they were able to take major towns from Al-Qaeda in Syria, which are Bukamal on the frontier, Shhil, and another town, which makes their territory really solid and homogeneous, if we may say. Because as they control almost the biggest part of Anbar on the Iraqi side of the frontier, today they control the biggest part of Deir Zur on the Syrian part of the frontier, and the group is working between brackets or advancing on both sides very efficiently.
And last week, the group announced it was renaming itself as the Islamic State, creating a caliphate, and calling on jihadists to pledge allegiance to the group. What does that say about its strategy?
This is one of the main goals from the beginning, to reinstore the caliphate, which makes them more appealing for other jihadi groups. From the beginning, they wanted to replace Al-Qaeda and taking the banner of jihad, if we may say so. And today, with the victories on the ground in Syria and Iraq, and all the resources they have, all the military equipment they have, all the money they took from Mosul and that they are making from the oil fields in Iraq and in Syria, they have the means of this ambition. But we shouldn't imagine that it is a caliphate as the Ottoman Caliphate or as Arab Caliphate before it. The goal from this, the main goal today, the short-term goal, is to make other jihadi groups vow allegiance to this group and to push jihadis from all over the world, and not only fighters, as Baghdadi said, he's the new caliph or the emir of the Islamic State. He called for skillful people, like doctors, like engineers, like people who know how to make arms, because he is putting the basis of a real state. And this is what shows also in the way they are dealing with people under their rule, like in Fallujah, which is under their control from more than 6 months, as they did in Mosul, as they did in Raqqa. They are really putting in place, replacing the state in these towns. So they are creating courts, Islamic courts, of course, but courts, a police, an Islamic police, but still a police, consumer offices, offices to give plaints about their soldiers. They condemn their soldiers on public places. Of course, it's still a terror group. It's a ruthless terror group, but it is putting a kind of order which was lacking in Syria because of the war, since like more than 3 years, and because of the oppression on the Iraqi side by the Maliki regime. So people were eager for an order. It's a bloody order, but still an order.
Wasim Nasser, thank you very much for your analysis. Thank you.